Welcome to Minolta Loftus, where you see there a very small crowd, which is indicative of a side that is not winning their games. The Bulls as yet to record a win in this Winfield Super 12 series, and they're up against the champions, the Canterbury Crusaders. It's a beautiful day here in Pretoria, 26 degrees, lovely sunshine, a little bit of cloud around, but the Crusaders have changed their side somewhat, and most significantly, Marshall and Mertens are out, and Leon MacDonald and Aaron Flynn take up in the half-back position. They've broken up the Gibson and Meyer Hoffler centre combination, and Caleb Ralph comes in at that position. James Kerr moves to the left wing with Lilly coming in the full-back position. Although those inside backs all went with the New Zealand Maoris to Scotland last year, so they will and surely will have a very good understanding. The Blue Bulls have also rung the changes. Very interesting. Of course, the most important thing is that Ruben Krier is back and as captain after his long injury. Jacques Lefier played in 1991, his first game for the Blue Bulls. And in the Currie Cup final, he had played his 108th game. It's the first time I have ever seen him play in the blue jersey in the centre position. They brought in Riaan Potgieter, one of the most experienced backs in South African Currie Cup rugby, and also Casper Steyn, Jarkar de Lange, and as I said to you, Ruben Krier comes in. A number of guys have gone onto the bench. Janeman Brandt, Wiemba Son, Gunda Williamson normally gets a run. Wim Meyer as well. Wayne Julie reverts to the bench, and a lot of experience there, as you saw on the Canterbury Crusaders bench, and in particular the two international half-backs. Todd Blackadder, who's only played in 2 tests, it has Todd Blackadder, but he is captain of the New Zealand midweek side when they tour overseas, and very, very experienced is he. Well, the Crusaders still have a very, very outside chance of getting up into those semis. They've got to almost get 5 points from every game. They have 4 left, and they will be very, very determined today to show their worth. With me today is Guy Keppel.
Thank you, Blades. Yeah, welcome to the guys from New Zealand, the Canterbury Crusaders, Super 12 champions, and a pity not more people are here to see it, because although the Bulls are bottom of the log, and there they are at the moment, in different strip to last week against the Sharks, but certainly they'd be there to show expansive rugby today and show the crowd that they might be bottom, but they can still come out on top in the future. And nice to see that man there, Ruben Kruger, in running form.
Well, it certainly is a big moment, and there was a great roar from the crowd as he emerged from that tunnel. It's a short walk from the change rooms to that tunnel position, as unlike a lot of rugby grounds around the world, the facilities here at Minolta Loftus are absolutely fantastic. There is the man in question. I saw his wife earlier, Lisa, and just said we're all holding thumbs, and let's hope he comes through the game with flying colours. 32 test matches he's played.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that certain change rooms are a long way from the tunnel. I know certain stadia around the world we have to do a fitness test just to get onto the field.
There's Norm Berryman, record holder for the Canterbury Crusaders, 7 tries in 1 game. As that man in picture, there's Peter Marshall, the referee, 42-year-old Australian, who has blown 11 test matches. He will be assisted today by George Ayob from Australia and South African Tupper Henin. Franco Smith to begin the game for the Northern Bulls, playing from right to left. Flynn. Good organisation there as MacDonald took the pass. Hasn't found his touch though. This is Franco Smith sizing up his options. Lilly. Nice fielding of the ball, that by Darryl Lilly. Good tackling by the Bulls. De Kock. Now chance here for De Kock. He's gone clean through. What a wonderful scrum half break. That is a cracking try.
Well, I was just about to say I didn't have a chance really, because the action started. But there's something about Loftus first felt, or Minolta Loftus first felt as it is these days, really, it always, even though there isn't a massive crowd here, it always provides this atmosphere. And sitting in the commentary box, it's no different. And Dion de Kock really just seemed to add to that pleasure, that taste that you seem to get when you walk into this arena. Really wonderful stuff. So the simplest of what looked like the simplest, really, it's as if everybody just, it was the Red Sea parting for him. And great opening for the Bulls. And if there are any people out there that are close to the stadium, get out of your lounges and come straight here. Look at that. Perfect. He saw that gap and it just opened as he went, and he had the pace to do it. Lovely stuff. So near perfect conditions, really. The ground is in superb condition. Light breeze, and it is quite coolish up here on the Highveld at the moment, so the guys will be enjoying it.
Chrono Otto going high, couldn't control. Good opposition that by the Crusaders forwards in the line out. Creer, Smith, Olivier, his first touch as centre. Nice hands by Goosen. Good backing up there by the Bulls. Van der Walt, Olivier finding a little bit of space. Tackled by Norm Maxwell. Well, the Bulls have started this game at a furious pace.
You can immediately, it's so apparent now, there's such a difference to the side. I'm not going to say it's Ruben Kruger himself, but it's home ground. Ruben Kruger added to that, and I think the fact that they're just sick and tired of losing.
Flynn, MacDonald, Gibson. Nice run that by the sturdily built centre. The help came from Angus Gardner. Nicely laid back for Blackadder. Tackled by Ribbons. Big defence this by the Bulls. In particular there, Nicky van der Walt. Picked up by McLeod, the number 8. Flynn, MacDonald, Kerr. Well, Canterbury just settling down a little bit more now. That's good hands. Well, the moment you say that, it goes a little bit awry. This is Ralph. Once again, a swarm of blue jerseys around him. Flynn just working it back to the forwards. Well, now that Canterbury are able to produce it, working the short side. This is a good run here by Ralph. He's a very elusive player, and it's a great run by the centre, and it's almost tit for tat the way he went through the Bulls' defences there. And the man who has played one test for the All Blacks gets it under the crossbar.
Well, tit for tat. He beat, I think it looked like Pierre Ribbons there. Completely wrong foots, Goosen. What you don't see out of picture is the referee being taken out by, I couldn't quite make out who it was.
Darryl Lilly adding the extra 2, so the scores are level. And plenty of action in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Nice running stuff there. Pierre Ribbons beaten. And, Ralph just taking on his man there, no problems, and well, we didn't see it. Looked like it could have been one of the centres, Rian Potgieter maybe.
Lilly, Gibson, Potgieter nearly made the tackle. Cosperstein was also there. Now Crusaders keeping the ball alive, but the referee calling them back. Well, the referee ultimately deciding that the Crusaders were doing something wrong there. Kruger fed up there by de Kock. De Kock gets again. Potgieter, lovely pass out for Goosen, held by Kerr. But the Bulls moving towards the 5-metre line. De Kock, Smith. Norm Berryman so nearly intercepted there. That would have been trouble for the Bulls. But the Bulls still managing to recycle the ball. Smith. Well, now Peter Marshall.
Yeah, the Bulls really, if you look at the pass, it's just been flung out there. Norm Berryman almost intercepted, and I doubt anybody would have caught him in full flight. Try against the run of play, and that's pretty much how their season has gone. A lot of stuff against the run of play. I'm not saying that they're the best side in the competition, but certainly they lost out against the Sharks last week, and also I think against the Reds in Brakpan it was the previous week. So they need a little bit of luck this afternoon.
Well, that scrum is proving a little bit of a problem.
I think it's early days, and usually scrums are like that until they settle in and find out what the beard feels like.
The pick up at the back was by Skitterbecker. Goosen reading the play nicely, but good tackling by the Crusaders, and Van der Walt comes away with the ball, finding on the inside Potgieter. Good drive by the Bulls. De Kock, Smith, Ulifier, and that's beautiful hands by the Bulls. Ulifier got his pass away, and Frikkie Welsh gets his first try in a blue Bull jersey.
Well, nicely worked there. This stage here, Ruben Kruger showing his worth. Picks up and goes forward immediately, and I think it's that quick movement, Frikkie Welsh coming away there. But I just want to say that from a guy like Ruben Kruger's experience, he picks the ball up immediately, goes forward, as opposed to what we've seen them doing standing around in the past, creating the momentum, and from that the ball came out nicely to end up in Frikkie Welsh's hands. Good hands also from that man Jacques Olivier.
Well, the breeze is slightly against, very slightly against Franco Smith. He struck that, but too straight almost. The Canterbury defence has regathered. Smith looking desperately for somebody. He's tackled by MacDonald. Now it's popped up again for Frikkie Welsh. De Kock, Smith. The men on the outside, De Kock, they decide to use the short side. This is Skitterbecker. And Canterbury offside.
Well, now
what a golden opportunity for a try there. Jacques Olivier had run on the inside. I rather feel if he stayed on the outside, it would have been a certainty, but it's still, the ball should have been offloaded at pace earlier.
A split second earlier, I agree with you 100%. And we're going back to the luck factor here. They had the same experience against the Sharks last week. Look at this. It's open. Jacques Olivier positioning himself. Communications there. And either a split second earlier or he should have taken on his man. Whichever way, that's totally unfortunate for the home side.
Well, after the incident, Jacques Olivier indicating that Darryl Lilly had deliberately knocked the ball down. But that was his opinion. Now will that hold? No, just not holding its course. So a bit of overcorrection. There's Jacques Olivier. And I just feel that he should have stayed running on the outside. But still, he on the inside, he was open as well. Lilly with the restart. It's well taken there by De Lange. De Kock, Potgieter. Van der Walt. Darnie, the hooker this time. De Kock again, looking on the looking to keep it tight. It was Pierre Ribbons going forward. De Kock scored a great try in the first minute of the game. Then it was Goosen. This is Franco Smith. He's through, and that's try number 3 for the Bulls.
Well, superbly worked all round, and you've got to make mention of the fact that Rian Potgieter, playing really sensibly there at centre, wasn't confident to let that ball go wide in the first instance. If you're not confident, take the ball in. That's what he did. Then the various setups coming, and that ball nicely worked. Eventually, Canterbury all over the place, and certain individual brilliance from Franco Smith there. The ability to take on his man. He realised that he had a tight forward to beat, and with his pace, not too difficult. So great stuff there, and that certainly confidence booster. It might even help his kicking now, because he's kicking, although he's been striking the ball rather well, it's just not going through the uprights.
Well, I'm sure that Marius Goosen too will be a relieved man, because he would know that after his great break that a try went a begging. And I must say the crowd has swelled quite considerably as well. And once again, that's 3 out of 3 that Franco Smith has missed.
I must admit, Jacques, Blades, Jacques Olivier really has impressed at centre, and the combination of him and Rian Potgieter seems to work well.
Flynn MacDonald. Berryman missed it. Olivier, you're quite right. Here he goes. Can he? Won't out-sprint them all here. But Marius Goosen. Now it's Marius Goosen and Soalo. Marius Goosen might win it. Brilliant defence by Soalo. That really was a magnificent piece of defence by the man on the left wing as a replacement.
Well, I can tell you there wasn't a seat being sat on in the house. The crowd erupted, and rightfully so. I think anybody anywhere in the world would have been either hoping for the tackle to come in or for him to score the try. And that's rugby at its best.
Well, he took the ball. If he had gone for the legs, I reckon Goosen would have been able to stretch out and get over the line. Good line-out work by Norm Maxwell. But we were talking about that man, Jacques Olivier. He's been like a breath of fresh air. Flynn. MacDonald with the clearance. And it's a goodie.
And you know, the nicest thing about the breath of fresh air, it spreads across the country. Really, person of that sort of, with that sort of talent, I'd like to say could play anywhere in the international side. And just look at that. I would have thought, I would have backed him to maybe beat anybody maybe a season or 2 ago. I'm not saying he's lost it now, but Marius Goosen, his ears pinned back. But nice Soalo, really great cover.
The Bulls on the run again. Ruben Creer wide, but too wide for Frikkie Welsh. Just expecting a little too much of his left winger to latch onto that one.
Well, we spoke about them opening the game up and becoming expansive, and that's exactly what they're doing. And I don't think anybody's complaining.
Well, there's the man in question, Flynn, MacDonald, Ralph. Saxton fed out nicely. Good tackle by Franco Smith. Flynn, Lilly. Nice reading of the play. Good cover there too by Donnie van der Walt, who was across. He didn't get the possession. Well, Jadkar DeLonge was working hard, but the referee indicating that the Crusaders were offside.
Yeah, they were offside right from the very beginning, and he playing advantage because the ball hadn't been turned over, and he's just waiting for a further infringement, and he didn't feel that Jadkar DeLonge would experience enough advantage.
Well, the distance is going to be there, but a little bit too much oomph into that one. Well, it's been a great first half hour for Ruben Creer. Goosen. Steyn. Well, that's a lovely torpedo. Depends on the bounce is good for the Bulls.
Yeah, I don't think the Bulls will complain. I think it's 13 minutes to go in the first half, and the forwards would like to settle down, maybe defend a situation in opposition 22, not too bad. So what they'd be looking to do now is certainly to either disrupt the line out initially, or put a sufficient pressure on the line out and then on the fly half so that he's forced to kick the ball out.
Blackadder, strong take at the front. Flynn, MacDonald, pressure from Van der Walt. That's not out. Goosen, Welsh in support. Frikkie Welsh will look to link up with Goosen again. Steyn gives chase. The bounce was good, and the cover too from the replacement, Soalo.
Nice touch there from, I think, who was it? Marius Goosen with that little kick. There it is. Casper Steyn nicely picked up, but not enough room to move.
Well, I must say, Soalo has really held his own in the Department of Defence. Blackadder. The wrong side of that maul, joining there by the Northern Bulls. Robertson, good line out work that by the Crusaders. This is MacDonald. Blackadder, it's a bit wild by the Canterbury skipper Kerr. Goosen has him covered. Kerr doing well to keep that ball in play. A little bit wild, but the Crusaders have managed to tidy it up. Then going on the wrong side of the ruck. They had possession of that ball, and they'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, a little bit of volleyball going on, and we're going to have a replacement on the Crusaders side. It looks like Hammett is replacing Sexton, Matt Sexton.
Well, Wayne Smith ringing the changes quite early on. So Matt Sexton leaves the field, and Mark Hammett will now take up that hooking position.
That's Ruben Kruger again, robbing the ball, and obviously not doing anything wrong, flipping the ball back, and one of the Crusaders is feeling he could volley it back.
De Lange, quick help from Nicky van der Walt, and well, the brothers van der Walt in tandem there. It's a good maul this by the Bulls as they move it up towards the Crusaders 22. Kano Otto is tackled by McLeod. He's taken it over the 22. De Kock, Smith. Well, great recovery that by Franco Smith. Ruben Kruger in possession. And just penalised for holding on a fraction too long. Well, remember that the Crusaders do have sitting on the bench Justin Marshall and Dandrew Mertens. Good work there by Kruger. But there was some jersey tugging there by the Bulls.
And what a try that would have been, because quite superb. Back of the line out stuff, ball flung out, everybody on top of it, and a try scored. Makes for wonderful viewing.
Well, that time Darryl Lilly does connect, will make better connection.
Just having a look at the ball. Let's look for who's pulling down there. Yes, possibly. Not possibly, definitely. It's on camera.
Flynn, MacDonald, Ralph. Once again, the Blue Bulls defending extremely well. And because of the solid defense of Jacques Olivier, it was lost forward.
It's absolutely it. It's almost as good as a tight head, that. Big tackle from a backline player is as good as a good scrum for the Packer forwards. And that's not a good scrum.
De Kock. Lilly is back for it. Dukoku gave chase. This is James Kerr. Good cover. Look at where Pierre Ribbons is, the loose head prop. Tried to throw it back. May well have been better for him to have held on. Flynn, McLeod, Berryman. Well tackled by Potgieter, but Berryman gets his pass away to Soalo. Flynn, MacDonald, Ralph, who scored that super try for the Crusaders. This is a good build-up by the Crusaders. Soalo, then the loose forwards getting in on the act. Now the tights. And the Bulls offside, right in, well, almost directly in front of the posts, inside their 22. No problem for Daryl Lilly. And I must say that the Crusaders have hung in there. The Bulls have had by far the better of the territorial situation, plus the fact that they've had a number of chances to add extra points via tries. But the Crusaders have hung in there and are just 7 points adrift. We have 5 minutes left in the first half. Good take there by Hammett. Flynn, MacDonald. Well, another chance now for the Bulls to launch an attack from inside the Crusaders' half.
Yeah, the Bulls have had ample opportunity to, in fact, have probably 10 or 15 more points than that. But it's been going well for them, and I think they'll be happy in the last 5 minutes into halftime.
They've moved Kleinotte right to the back of the line out. It's too high for him. Grabbed by Gardner, MacDonald, and then good counter play. This is Nicky van der Walt. Ribbons, Smith, Olivier. Strong defense by Berryman. Well, Jacques Olivier managed to turn around and retain the possession for his team.
Yeah, all important against a guy like Norm Berryman. He took him on, even physically took him on. And I mean, you match the two guys up size-wise, I don't think there's any comparison. But that's a gutsy man, that.
Meanwhile, Daryl Lilly has placed the Crusaders there. Good work by Maxwell. MacDonald. Berryman. Good tackle. Well, you see how Berryman stays on his feet. He was grabbed by Potgieter, who battled to get him down. MacDonald. Kerr looking for work and bursting through the tackles. Picked up nicely there by Somerville. Good build up this game by the Crusaders. Flynn nearly through, and McLeod is. Well, McLeod now, did he do a knee there as his boot caught in the turf? No, he seems to be fine.
No, I think he might have caught it on the head a bit, but that turf a little soft to do a knee today, I think. It's nice underfoot, but good sustained pressure coming from the Crusaders. That break definitely on, crossing the advantage line, and simple stuff for McLeod. But Flynn, the man, Aaron Flynn, don't want to call him Errol. It's his knee that actually went in, so it shows you how soft that ground is. It wasn't a boot, it's his knee digging into the ground.
That's why I thought when he hesitated on the ground there that he might have damaged a ligament or two. Seen so many knees going this season, but the Crusaders have fought back. And Daryl Lilly, the touch judge, is just conferring for a moment, and that has tied the scores. And the referee's whistle has gone for half-time. Terrific build-up this by the Crusaders, and ultimately McLeod was in the right spot at the right time. And with that, that made it 17 points to 15. It's now, with the conversion, 17 points all and we have a delightful rugby match on our hands. We're going to go back to the studio for a short while, and then we'll bring you the second half. Darryl Lilly restarts. De Kock. Smith had to move quickly. MacDonald. Lilly. McLeod in support. Good tackle again by Olafia.
Now he's on his feet. He's on his feet, Dennis.
Well,
he's on his feet.
the Crusaders not releasing, quickly taken by Van der Walt. And great hands again by Olafia. He moved it on the inside so quickly. De Kock wide. The Bulls just need to tidy it up. This is Potgieter. And that went forward. Maxwell, Marshall, Mertens, plenty of space. Berryman. Mertens, that was his first touch, accidental offside there. This is Vermeer. Well, the crowd baying for a high tackle penalty from Andrew Mertens, but there was the first defence was the kick by Mertens into the backside of Greg Somerville. De Lange, De Kock, Smith, Meyer, big lad is Vermeer. This is where it's all going a little bit wrong for the Bulls. They need to control this ball. Here goes Jacques Olafia, and it was Marius Wilson who tripped up, and so Olato will take it through and all the way to the post for the Crusaders. That was such bad luck. Once you're down, really you do stay down. Such bad luck for the Bulls. But I must say that Afato Soalo has had an outstanding contribution to this game since coming on as a replacement. Watch Marius Wilson.
Well, it's so unlucky. Jacques Olafia looking the enterprising player there, and there's nothing you can do about that. Marius Wilson didn't mean to trip himself. I promise you that. It's just really, when you're down, and well, I just really hope for their sakes that that isn't the last attempt that they'll, or the last assault that they'll make on the opposition line.
You'll just see here Marius Wilson's legs just clip those of Pierre Ribbons, and there's no stopping this fellow who's shown that he has plenty of pace, both on attack and defense. He's shown that. De Kock, it was Espach. Good defense again by the Crusaders. Well, that's quite interesting because the referee had allowed some advantage to the Bulls. He had indicated that there had been a knock-on by the Crusaders, and certainly there was no advantage to the Bulls there. And it looks like Ruben Kriel is going to come back on the field. And he, I think, is sorely needed, Guy.
Yeah, well, it's almost as if the doctor sent him on, and I just feel that the crowd as well will get behind it. They'll get to the edge of their seat now, and the players will feel it.
Oh, Andrew Mertens gaining his side a huge amount of ground.
Will really be a good test to see what Ruben Kruger's, because influence does have on the outcome of this match. This is De Kock and Jaco Espach, and will not no knock on there. Franco Smith, referee calling for knock.
De Lange. De Kock. Meyer gives chase. Soalo is under it. MacDonald. Tackled by Potgieter. Well grabbed there by Henry Kemp. Kruger. Skutterbecker got the pass away. big defence this by the Crusaders as they storm onto Henry Kemp from an offside position.
Well, already you see the difference with Ruben Kruger on. Things tend to happen a little more quickly. He covers, I'm not saying he covers the ground quickly, but when he gets the ball, he reacts in the right direction, and that's what it's all about. There's no standing around, there's a decision-making process, and it happens when he's there.
And he struck that very well. This is the first points on the board for the Bulls in 40 minutes.
Well, is it the Bulls' opportunity to claw back? Because they certainly haven't had the luck of the bounce. They haven't had the luck of the kick. And that fella back on. And looks like, if anything, he might have gone off for what could have been a bloodman, Hugh.
Yes, it looks like it. Skutterbecker tried to stand his ground. Look at that surge by the Crusaders forwards. De Kock, Van der Walt, Kemp, De Kock, Otto. Good run this by Crane Otto. Jacques Olivier, beautiful pass for Casper Steyn. Now, can he take on the opposition? Has he got the pace? The bounce of the ball is critical now. Steyn has it! Steyn has the try.
Well, when you're positive, Crane Otto positive. Lovely stuff there. That man in picture there, Crane Otto, certainly contributed amazingly to that try. And I think they're just as happy to have Ruben Kruger back on the field. It all lends to what makes everything smell good in this part of the world. Nicely. Look at Crane Otto here. Their break, turn of space. Jacques Olivier in there without the controlled pass of Jacques Olivier. This man would have been able to be where he is now. And that pace, nice, just falling on that ball, bringing it in, gathering it, and scoring the try.
Well, Franco Smith is entrusted with the kick. It's vital for the Bulls. It's just shaved the uprights.
Well, those uprights must be fairly sensitive because Franco Smith's done a lot of shaving of them today. Casper Steyn. Oh, just look at the pace here. Ron Cribb in hot pursuit there. But that's how desperate he was for that try, and it's almost as if his head scored it for him.
Yeah. Good kickoff by Mertens. Henry Kemp was there. So was Marshall. So it's the scrum advantage for the Bulls. This game has come alive. It was a little bit dour in the first part of the second half as the two sides sorted one another out. But in the last 10 minutes, we've had all of, well, 7 points for the Crusaders, and also a whole pile here. But we've had 3 and 5 is 8. We've had 15 points in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, the crowd getting behind the Bulls.
Becker, De Kock, Van der Walt. That was offside by Gardner. Came in on the side there. Good hands by Smith and by Becker, by Ruben Kruger rather.
Ball. Relax now, relax. Outside.
Otto. And then it was Becker who got the tap ahead. Back for it is Kerr. And he's forced into touch by pressure from Olivier. What a game this guy's had.
I suppose when you can't play centre, you choose to play in the front row. That's where everybody goes to when they get slower.
Henry Kemp, vital throw in for De Lange, De Kock, Smith, Olivier, Van der Walt barging through, nearly got through the gap. Ruben Kruger was there quickly. De Kock, Smith, they've got a chance here as Olivier goes. Switch to Goosen. On the inside is Kemp again. Can the Bulls retain possession? The Crusaders desperate to try and keep the ball. The referee was on the far side and didn't spot it.
Well, I've got to say, I'm just going to intervene for Tapahenning here. He's a referee on the touchline. He did see that. And now they're spraying stuff at him.
Well, I think the first defence may have been a little knock-on. Certainly there was offside after that incident. Marshall will get this away for Mertens. It's a huge punt, not out. Meyer. And it's a penalty to the Bulls because the Crusaders moved forward and they were in front of Andrew Mertens. Now here's pressure time for Casper Steyn. He's going to be entrusted with the kick.
Well, I think there are a lot of people in the stadium here.
And I must say, Guy, when this game started, the crowd, there were few people in the crowd. As we see Mertens kicking there now, you see the Crusaders guys, So Olo, who moved forward too early. He's done it. He's done it, Casper Steyn. He's put his side in the lead.
Well,
And that guy was the quietest I've heard any crowd anywhere in this Winfield Super 12 competition.
Yeah, the proverbial pin could have dropped. Ruben Kruger, that's it, there's fire. The pot's starting to boil, yeah, in the bull ring.
Becker. The Bulls are now fired up. The Crusaders will need to come back. They don't ever give up. Smith. Back for it is James Kerr. MacDonald helping. MacDonald will get. Well, sure, Franco Smith is very thankful that that ball stopped in the in-goal area. Didn't roll over the dead ball line. It would have been way, way back down near the Northerns Bulls 22.
Yeah, you can imagine had it hit someone like Tony Gregg's pen or something stuck in the field there, could have bounced anywhere.
Well played by Maxwell. Here goes Blackadder. Help from Ron Cribb. And then from Somerville. Marshall, Mertens, Berryman. Berryman, the idea was good, but the execution wasn't as the Crusaders would want it. Henry Kemp with a throw. Good jump there. They've started to use Dratkar de Lange a lot better and to great effect. Van der Walt went barging ahead. Tackled ball. The Bulls will retain possession. Well, this crowd have really got behind their team. This could, if the Crusaders don't pull this game out of the fire, could bury their aspirations in terms of this year's Winfield Super 12 series. Remember, they are the champions. Becker, de Kock, Creer, Smith, Potgieter, Meyer. It was a little bit high for Wim Meyer. What does the referee say? Play on. Berryman scrags him. So does Ralph. Now the chance here for Creer. Well, look at that for a tactical kick from the skipper. MacDonald has it nicely covered. Well, that's a huge punt by Leon MacDonald. Back for it is Dion de Kock. Another big punt. Andrew Mertens, is he going to open up? Yes. He needs support a little bit quicker than that, but just still running. The crowd shouting tackle. Here goes Berryman. He's a strong lad, is Norman Berryman, as he gets through 2 tackles. Sets it up for the Crusaders. Marshall waits. Penalty to the Crusaders. And it's going to be pressure now for Andrew Mertens. Well, now, of course, the crowd are going to be noisy, I can assure you that. But Andrew Mertens is used to this sort of thing. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's drifting away. I thought he had kicked it over. Well, I've never heard a crowd cheer as loud for a missed penalty, but who can blame them? They've had 8 losses, and they're within sight of a win here. Jacques Olivier, all the experience with the instructions, saying to Franco Smith, boot it out of our territory. Is it too far? Yes, it is. Gracious me, tension here. Eugene van Wyk, Chris Buitendorp, Vaney Snyman, the 3 there. And he still manages a smile, does the genial Eugene van Wyk. Well, Franco Smith, as that ball went over the touchline, threw his hands onto his head. Now is Andrew Mertens going to align himself for a drop kick attempt here, as the Crusaders decide to go from the back of the scrum. Mertens has. Now, can he get it up high enough? It's there. He's turned around. He threw his hands in the air, and Andrew Mertens may have snatched victory for his team. Well, that's the value of the player. Well, one thought that this was inevitable, but he took the ball very low indeed, and once as he struck it, he threw his hands up in the air. Now all the Crusaders want to do now as the siren goes, but the Bulls get the ball. The Crusaders are allowed it to bounce. This is the last, could be the last move into the game. De Kock, Ruben Clear, if this goes over, no, it's not going to go over. But what an idea by the Bulls captain. That's the ball game. And the Crusaders have snatched victory from the Bulls, who will be very, very disappointed